He's Ash.
He's David. And this is the Artful Pose.
Hello everybody, this is Ash from the Artful Pose, and today we are going to be opening and reviewing the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Cyclops and Jean Grey 2-pack, part of the later part of the season from X-Men 97, where they're wearing their early astonishing X-Men outfits, where you got Cyclops, this classic blue and yellow, and Jean Grey in her Marvel Girl outfit. Let's check the back of the box. If you don't know how they look, boom boom. Oh, there's the side art. I love these. By the way, just a little FYI, if you like these so much, one of the things I do is I cut them out and I use them as bookmarks. It's just an idea. If you ever want to not get rid of the box art and have no room for boxes, what I normally do is I cut them out and boom, I got a perfect bookmark. Alright, so enough of me talking. Let's crack them open. Okay, there they are. Now you're probably noticing that I moved the wall further, and that's because, just so you know, Jean Grey is a little difficult to stand. I think the go-go boots are a little unstable. But anyway, we'll get into it. So here we are. This is the X-Men 97 2-pack, Cyclops and Jean Grey. I'm surprised I didn't go with Marvel Girl, but there might have been something up with that. If you know the reason of why she's not called Marvel Girl in the cartoon, let us know down in the comments. Alright, so let's start off. Let's say ladies first. Okay, so first off, we have Jean Grey. So let me move Scott out of the way.
Bye, Scott. I'll miss you.
Alright, so here we have Marvel Girl Jean Grey. Now, if you have the original Marvel Girl that Hasbro released, and probably thinking, Ash, I don't need this. I already got one. Yes, you do. And guess what? She also works. It's essentially the same sculpt with some minor updates. For instance, the skirt piece, brand new, along with the X symbol. I don't know if the camera can do it justice, but it's more of the animated style. Same thing all the way around. All of this is more geared towards the animated look. And if you look at her head, and she does come with two heads, that the hair is much different from the previous release because it's more of the cartoon. You notice that the hair strands are larger, and her hair as a whole is more just one solid piece, just like in the cartoon. She does come with an action-y head. I'll pop that on right now. Which, one of the things I want to say is that with this new plastic, there's her peg.
Woo, where's my head?
It doesn't have that socket sound like most do. So there she is. Oh, it's not a good day to beat Jean Grey. But hey, at least it's a good hair day. She does come with other hands, because as much as I do like fists... Logan, you stole my bath mints again! Anyway, sorry. She does come with some cool special effects. Put that on. They slide ever on so nicely. And she does have open hands. Comes for left and right. And I'm assuming this is supposed to be a psychic effect. I don't know why around her hands. I would have put it more on the head, since she is moving things with her mind. But hey, it does the effect. It's showing superpowers. Looks fine. So let's get on to some articulation, because I do want to mention something that's a little different from the original. She does have double jointed knees. No pegs. She does if you decide to get her, she does have some very stiff joints right here, so you might need to heat treat, which, if you'd like to know how to fix joints, we have a video on some tips and tricks. We use a Spider-Man 2099, and that tip and trick does work for all action figures. So with her, I would probably put her in the hot bath and get those joints all nice and loose. They got the go-go boots that are very different from the original that we got released. It's a brand new paint job. I will say this, like I showed you before, because it's a high heel, and ladies, if you're watching, you understand, it's a little difficult to stand. And she's doing some action-y stuff in these heels. So articulation-wise, because of the hair, a little bit limited on posing of the head. So that's the wild hair. Let's go with the more tame, calm. Because Jean Grey's mostly calm, right? Yeah. Especially when she's not under the influence of the Phoenix. So if you notice with the second head sculpt, I get a little bit more turn. Not a lot of up, not a lot of down because of the hair. No ab crunch, however, there's a ball joint right there at the waist, so she can, from side to side, that's right, Go back that far, but then you get a gappage right there. If that bothers you, then you don't want to go that far. The skirt is a much tougher plastic than before, so she can only go about that high. Same with both legs, and they are pretty stiff. They did put a slit on one side, so if you want to get a little bit more leg up, you can. But if you plan on sitting her at the meeting table outside the danger room, probably not going to happen because of the skirt. I really wish Hasbro would adopt, sorry about that, a more rubbery type plastic for any type of material like this. She can't sit. You can't sit her. So you're going to have her stand, or just if you angle her feet down. Oops, sorry about that. You can get a good floaty pose. And that's about it. That's as much as what you're going to get. But when she's controlling minds and moving objects, she doesn't really need to do too much posing. Just, you can do the, I can sense it. One of those moments. Or, stop! And then she stops it. That's pretty much what you can do. Overall, I would say for a Jean Grey, she's great. For a classic Marvel girl with the mask, it looks like you just ripped her right out of the cartoon. I love those eyes. Look at that. And those are printed on. Can you believe that? For years, for those who are just now getting into collecting, if you're new to this, all eyes were sculpted and painted on. With these, they are actually printed on, and I just think they do such a fantastic job. It really captures that cartoony look, and if you're looking to build up a comic book version, this works just as good. I mean, it looks like you ripped her right out of a comic book panel. So yeah, there is Marvel Legends X-Men 97, Marvel Girl Jean Grey. Now we're on to the leader of the X-Men, Scott Summers, Cyclops himself. Now, this is something that, oops, sorry about that, that David and I have been waiting a long time for. I mean, for real. We have waited a long time for this particular version because we can finally build up our original Astonishing X-Men team, where if you have Nightcrawler, was it Warbird? Warbird, or was it, yeah, was it Warbird or Thunderbird? You can correct me in the comics below. But there's that one comic book page where it has them in these outfits. And when I was little, this was my first exposure to Cyclops. And I will say, this is nice. They're using the more modern body buck, of course, no pins. And this works really well. As a Scott Summers fan, I would like him a tiny bit taller, a tiny bit of a thinner frame. But as we all know, in the comic books, that's not always the case. Even though his nickname is Slim, that's not Slim. That is a ripped man. He is not slim. No, I would not say that. You know, he eats a lot. He exercises. Overall, I know it's very much a less is more. It's pretty simple. And you know what sells it? The pirate boots. You know the pirate boots sells it. I'm a sucker for pirate boots. When it's on Captain America or any character, I love a good pirate boot. It just screams adventure. I mean, look at that. It's adventure. One of the other cool things that I love that Hasbro did with this, I mean, I don't have to go into all the details. It's the same type of articulation you see on most of these. You got the butterfly joint, which is always a much needed welcome. You got double jointed arms. You got the wrist rotation with the hinge. You got the double jointed knees. You got the ankle rockers. He can split that much. So if he wants to do a split kick, you can. But I'm going to go into a little bit of the detail. Just a heads up, if you decide to buy this, be careful. This belt is a separate piece. So if you push it down too far, he's a Speedo, and then that you got the trunk. So it takes some balancing. I'd highly suggest that if you decide to get with it, don't glue. Then you're going to lose that whole waist articulation right here. But something that's really neat that most don't go into, you see the visor? I'm trying to get a good angle with the camera. That's a clear red plastic. For so long, it's always been painted on. Or it's a clear plastic with light shining through it. I love that. So if you get the light just right, ooh, right there, you can see the red. Let me see if I can get the reflection in there. Kind of looks like Battlestar Galactica. Oh, I'm having way too much fun with this. He does come with other hands, because even though he's a good fighter, we do know we want... Let me see, is he right-handed or left-handed? That's a right hand. He does come with his visor fingers. And those who know... Yeah, it's a bit confusing in the comic books. Well, not really in the comic books, in the cartoon, I should say. Because when I was growing up, I don't remember him touching the visor part until I started reading, and I realized, oh, he touches the visor, which is why you have these fingers. Pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew. Love it. Now, what's great about this one in comparison to other Scott Summers, very rarely is this hinged. This is hinged. Sometimes they're just stuck like this, and you just pop it in and you can't really move it. I love that Hasbro made it hinge. So if you want to get certain angles, like an investigative, non-threatening type of pew-pew, you can just do a nice little tap-tap. If you want to get it more intense, you can. You just angle the hand ever so slightly. And what this does, it shows by angling it up, and what you're doing is, that's why I love the butterfly joints, you can actually touch his head. If I can do it right. Remember, I just opened this, so he's a bit stiff. It's by angling it up so much, it's showing pressure on the visor, so he's really pushing hard. Now, but he's pushing, but nothing's coming out. So he does come with an alternative head. Pop that sucker on. And now, oh, Scott's mad. And if you know Scott, when he's angry, oh, we don't mess with him. Because that's an Omega level mutant blast right there. Speaking of blast, let me stand him up right there for now. Comes with the optic beams. And what's great about this, it's a two-piece. So if you got that previous Cyclops with the X on him, I'm trying to remember which version that is. It wasn't Astonishing. Was it Uncanny? Maybe it was Uncanny. If you have the Uncanny Cyclops, please correct me in the comments below. Obviously, I didn't do enough research before filming. It's the same blast effect. So it comes with two pieces. We have the impact piece, and we have the actual visor laser piece, or the concussion. There's the peg. Just fits right into the face. So you can do just a straight beam, and if you want to do the additional effect, there's a peg here, and there's a little groove right here, and it just goes on like so. And then, so if you want to get that effect, you really got to get it in there. Oh, it's really, I'm not feeling maybe I'm angling it wrong. Okay. Yeah. Is it going in? I guess so. Well, you see, there's the hole. Plug it in there. Alright, well, that's good enough. So he can be zapping the ground, zapping someone else. put the blast effect on. You can be doing some work on the wall. There's a variety of options. I noticed that it does come off relatively easy, so be careful. If you get ballsy enough, you might want to glue it in and then just have the head with the blaster head. Now keep in mind, this also does work with the previous Cyclops head that came out with the same type of head but without the boots. It does work. So as power couples go, Scott and Jean, if you're an X-Men fan, these should totally be on your hit list. I'm very happy with these sculpts. I'm very happy with the articulation. We can get some really great poses with these guys. They're a decent scale. They match up with previous Marvel Legends. And I would say I'm very happy with this one. So if you're in the market to get the new suits for the X-Men 97 X-Men for Cyclops and Jean Grey, this is going to definitely fit that mold for you. Ba-dum-bum. Alright, well this is Ash. I hope you enjoyed this fast figure review. Not too fast, because we are dealing with two figures. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below. We'd love to hear from you and what you would like to see. We are a new channel. And may all your poses be artful. This is Ash signing off from the Artful Pose.
Hey boys and girls, David here. Thanks so much for watching our latest video. We really appreciate it. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to see us cover something, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And tell us how you think we're doing, where we can improve. Because if we don't improve, then we end up like this Sentinel here, and it looks like he's got a headache and somebody beat him up. And nobody wants to get beaten up. So let's make sure that Ash and I don't get beaten up. So, hey, thanks again. Let us know what you think. See you next time.